coming in from the bathtub, June 21st, 2021. Thanks so much for subscribing to this channel, really appreciate it. So the first thing that comes up is just for the energy of the day in general for everyone watching is we have to let go of details. We have to put some of the things aside, as there's a hair floating in my tub, that we worry about, that we're afraid of, and really start discovering things okay, what I'm getting is there are discoveries that we haven't yet observed because we are too focused on the other things. Okay, that makes sense, even why I couldn't explain this. And it's telling me that we're living in this plastic world. We have to let go of the filters. We have to let go of, I don't know, the headshots that we're doing, and then photoshopping, things like that. When people are guilt tripping other people because they don't want to do something, that has to stop. Because we're living in a time where we have to focus on our own beliefs, new beliefs, things like that. So we're all changing with the times. So if you're someone who is struggling at all with any type of self-abuse or self-harm, the last thing that you need is somebody telling you exactly what you need to do, which is quite interesting because here I am offering you guidance. And so it's really important that we're not feeling like we're tippy-toeing over each other right now, and that we could actually talk to one another very human-like. And today I had an experience where I was backing out of a parking lot, and there was a girl that was in the store. When I was in the store, she seemed like she had a bit of an attitude. I just noticed her, but I didn't really notice her in a negative way. And then when I was backing out, I was really nervous backing out with my vehicle because I couldn't really see behind me. And then this same girl is flying past me like it was like she didn't care that I was pulling out. So I actually follow her to the beach because we're going in the same direction. And when I went to go pay for my toll, and she was paying for her payment at the same time, we were in separate lanes. So when I was ahead of her, and when I went to go forward, she got angry and upset that I was going ahead of her instead of, I guess, waiting for her to go first, because we were close to each other, but I was there first, so I was going ahead thinking, well, I'm here first. She didn't like it. So I could already tell that was her kind of way of living, and she started yelling at me when I was ahead of her. And I just stopped my vehicle, and I just stopped, and I looked at her, and I'm like, go ahead, you can go ahead of me, it's fine, I'm not in any rush. I was just ahead of you, so I was going. But if you don't like that I'm ahead of you, then you go ahead, it's no big deal. But of course she went her own way and I went the other way, and I actually had a little premonition and weird vibes actually before this even happened. I was getting this feeling of just kind of bad vibes. I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't know who this is related to, but I feel it. And that's where it's we know something's going to happen, but we don't know how it's going to happen. And I really feel like it was how I handled the situation. And I felt proud of myself for saying, hey, you know what, not getting upset and just being well, you go ahead. If you want to be ahead of me, then just go ahead of me. I stopped my vehicle, and it's just, go around and go ahead. It's no big deal. And my fears were making sure I'm safe when I'm backing up, making sure that, you're not colliding with anybody when you're driving. And so anyway, these things are coming up for a reason. It's gonna relate to somebody, but I've noticed the energy right now is really intense, and I'm noticing a lot of people are not paying attention. And so even I just feel like sharing circumstances, I guess, today. Yesterday I was in another parking lot. I'm seeing a lot of car accidents, either not happening but about to happen, because I think people aren't having a lot of patience. And of course this might relate to you with this full moon coming up. Maybe you are working on patience. I know I'm also working on patience, so again, I'm not perfect. These are lessons for me as well, correct? But I'm in a parking lot and I'm backing out of the parking lot once again, and here's somebody beside me driving through their parking spot. So they were going to park, but then they drove through the parking spot. And I'm like, that's fine that she did that. The only thing was she didn't even notice me backing up. She wasn't even looking or paying attention. And that's kind of what I've been feeling, is like people are not paying attention. And so and I've just been feeling like a lot of lack of awareness. And maybe we're turtle heading, we're a turtle, and we need patience, and we need to be positive and find joy, but we're hiding a bit, right? And I can totally relate to this as well. Let me know if this relates to you, where you just start to pull back instead of forward when things maybe are just becoming too much. And it's totally fine to pull back, but make sure that you're still stepping outside of your comfort zone. So somebody needed to hear this story. Let me know if it was you. In terms of the energy of the 21st, this is the first day of summer. And again, a few days away from the full moon. We also have like Father's Day around this time as well, so that would be really like bringing up a lot of energy, I'm sure, for a lot of people as well, especially where I find Mother's Day very different than Father's Day. I'm not sure why. It just feels very different. And I do find some men have tendencies to kind of like not put themselves on a pedestal, not make themselves feel important, and when it comes to their special day, it might be like, oh no, I don't want anything, that sort of thing. But deep down, we all need to be appreciated, that sort of thing. Especially even honoring the summer solstice and like the cycles and the seasons of life, and how we're all transitioning into this time of, with the strawberry moon, like growing and changing. As I'm sharing my story, as I said, I'm not perfect, but these things are coming up because it's going to stir up energy with the full moon, how you're even relating to what I'm saying. I keep connecting to the energy of patience. I'm like, okay, when I do my full moon energy, I'm going to relate to that. Last full moon for me, it was negativity. So it makes sense that maybe, there's still some of that coming up and out. So have patience, absolutely, but pay attention. Notice things, observe things. So although it's like let go of the worry, let go of the fear, still pay attention to what is significant and what is actually important. What are the messages that are happening for you? What are you being drawn to? What are you appreciative of? What are you enthusiastic about? Follow your dreams. Go towards your heart center. I'm also going to be doing an online retreat coming up in August. I'm doing an in-person retreat in September. I'm doing an Akashic Records program starting on the 5th. Lots of cool stuff coming up. So absolutely connect to me on Facebook, Instagram, and of course I love it if you guys take the time to subscribe, share this out, at least like it, etc., so I can see how this channel is going to grow. So bye for now. Take care.